After week 3, we have one team in the same division, two teams that are in the same division that have tied. And after week 4, we'll have one less undefeated team. This is Sports Hour. This is alright. So this is gonna be a very tough week. I've already put my predictions in for this week, but I'm gonna tell you why for this. Last one is the last game I want to say is the Werewolves and the Cats. Both these games are going to be very tough. I'm going to give the Cats the victory for that one. Now, there are a few games. There are a few things I want to note. Who hasn't? I am picking the Jets because the Athens currently have the second lowest scoring value right now in the league. It's not even close. The Jets are actually at 91 3 points per game, even though they're losing if lost every game up to this point. Athens have scoring 66 points per game. Not exactly a good thing. So with that game, it's it. The Werewolves and Million Cats both have a very good chance, and both of them are currently technically tied for first place in the division. The Werewolves have the edge right now because they are scoring more points per game with 101 points versus the average Leland Cats only scored 288 points up to this point. But both these teams are in a very good position yet. The big game to note is going to be the Kings and the Foxes game. Both of these teams are in a very good position. Kings winning their game last week. Foxes winning their game last week. Foxes are fighting for first place in their division right now. Kings are fighting for second place in their division right now. They currently are second, but if they don't win, they will be second. I honestly think these are probably the best predictions I could go with. And for this week, it's just going to be a tough week for it. But there are a few things to note. Highest points up to this point. Most penalties. I did not spell that right. Most penalties. Wait, lowest and fewest penalties. These are just notes of those certain things going on to this. It's really hard to figure out who has the highest amount of points right now. It is the Werewolves that currently have the most amount of points. That is definitely why they are going to be in it. The most. Look at this. The lowest points, the team that is doing the worst right now, and it's not even close, to be honest. Chargers are doing the worst. It's the highest amount of points are currently averaging at 101 points per game, PPG. And the lowest is not even close. I mean, 60 points per game. Now, granted, the Athens are not far behind that. They have 63 points right now per game. And the second highest, honestly, it's not really surprising. Oops, 66. It's not really that surprising. The highest. Oh, wait a minute. I get that wrong. They have the second highest. The team that has the current highest amount is actually 2-1. It is actually the Warriors, being with 104.33. It's actually a pretty big difference. I would say the Warriors are going to have a good chance of doing all the way for this. Most penalized team is not surprising. It is the Chargers. Yeah. They have 72 penalties right now over the actual hits. Now, fewest penalties isn't really that surprising either. The team with the fewest penalties right now is the Panthers. Panthers the fewest penalties right now with only 7. Yeah, it's a pretty big difference. The difference between these two teams are just not it. Now, granted, they've still got some penalties, and that's it. Now we'll look at the actual penalty odds in a different episode, in the next one of these things. But just to point out, these are our predictions for the week, and you can put your predictions down in the comments down below as well. This is a tough week, and honestly, the toughest game is probably going to be at 9 o'clock on Sunday. Getting up really early, that early. Now, for the last week, it was pretty big. I mean, I went 15-5. The lowest person hit 8-12. So this is a pretty nice. Now, granted, most of us did pretty well of this week. I'm currently in third. I'm technically tied for third. I have a better record this week, which is the only reason I'm ahead of Puppy. Puppy is actually, now thinking about Puppy. Now I'm looking at this. Yeah, record. Puppy has second. He went 13-5 to 7 minutes. So in the weeks, if we are tied, then the person that had the better record that week is dead. All right, before we get in this, the playoffs are really far away. And I know we really shouldn't be talking about this. Yes, the playoffs are a really far away. Now, when we get to this, and this is already on the shared. I'm pretty sure I already have this up here. Yeah, so I think you can get to this. These are the teams that if the playoffs happen today, There are no teams that are eliminated. There's no teams that are one game behind in being eliminated because there's not really a way of doing it. Because we're not at week 15. These are teams that would make the playoffs in the NBL. These are teams that would make the playoffs in the ABL if it would happen right now. And honestly, I'm not 100% surprised about some of these teams. I'm not surprised about actually, I'm not really surprised about any of these teams. The only one I'm a little surprised right now is probably the Dragons. And I'm actually not sure they actually may make the playoffs at this point. Let me just check that here. No, I don't think they would. It's tough. I think they actually do, but they do not have it. They're going to be in the 8th seed, not the 9th, and not in the others, and not in the actual seed 4. But otherwise, this should be correct. Yes, the Werewolves and the Moving Cats are both in a favorite position. Now, the way the playoffs works is the first seed plays the 8th seed, the second plays the 7th, third plays the 6th, and fourth plays the 5th. The highest one, so for example, let's just go as to say this. Let's say one wins, and let's say each team. Let's say it's a win for every one of the first seeds. Well, then the first will play the 4th, the second will play the 3rd. Let's say the first wins again, and let's say the 3rd wins. Then these two teams will play, and that would be the divisional. That would be deciding for who gets to play in the what we call the Ball Bowl, similar to the Super Bowl for the NBL, for the NFL. And that's how it works for it. Not much else to talk about here. Thanks for watching for this, and if you guys want to put your own predictions in, let me down in the comments down below. If you want to take control of the team, you can do that in the comments down below too, and send an email to nbl@sportshour@gmail.com. If you want to take control of the team, that's what you can do, and that is open up until halfway point. I keep changing a little bit, but it's gonna be halfway. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. And don't forget to keep the game on.